Hello and welcome to this new video for me. Today I will rank every single Pokemon Regulation F that had a Day 2 result in a regional or EUIC in Regulation F 1.0. And there are a lot of Pokemon. There are over 100 Pokemon that achieved this result, which is kind of crazy because I think in different formats it's nowhere close to 100. So I think it's really interesting to think about what is actually good in Regulation F. I will give you my insight, and this is the only real tier list you can find. But without further ado, I think we should get started immediately. So first of all, we've got Venusaur. The tiers, by the way, I have are S, A plus A minus B plus, B minus, C, and D. I think having 6 tiers is pretty good for over 100 Pokemon. So first of all, we've got Venusaur, and Venusaur doesn't have the greatest results, to be honest. I think it can be good because it punishes Incineroar Willaboom pretty well. I mean, we've seen it towards the end of Regulation H where Oliver Ascolin used a Venusaur team. Also, Venusaur matches up nicely into most of the Ogerpon. And I think Venusaur definitely is not terrible by any means, but the speed here is a little awkward because even in the sun, even if you are a timid nature, you are slower than a Fluttermane with a speed booster, for example, which is a little tricky, which is why I would put it, I don't know if I put it in C or if I put it in D. I will put it in D, I think, because the problem is still there are a lot of Pokemon that just sit in front of Venusaur and they cannot do that much, like Warring Moon, for example. You cannot really hit Warring Moon, and also I think Venusaur is not terrible, but it's also not great either. Next up, we've got Clefairy, and Clefairy I would say is slightly better. I might change some stuff in the end, but I think Clefairy is slightly better. Frankly speaking, Clefairy is just a good support with Friend Guard and Follow Me. Actually, no, I see Venusaur over Clefairy, because the problem with Clefairy is that it's really passive, and it can get abused by a lot of stuff. Obviously, it matches up nicely into Calm Mind Raging Bolt, like having fairy types with redirection against Raging Bolt is pretty cool, but other than that, I'm not the biggest fan of Clefairy. Next up, we've got Clefable, and I think Clefairy is just the worst Clefairy. Yes, Unaware can be cool, but Pokemon like Ogerpon Halflane, for example, have Mold Breaker, and once again, it's just too passive, and I'm not a big fan. Next up, we've got Weezing in the Kanto variant. Weezing with neutralizing gas obviously has a niche. I wonder if Weezing or Weezing Galar is better, because Weezing Galar is worse against stuff like Goldengo, obviously, but the regular Weezing does not have a dark resist against Pokemon like Urshifu Single Strike and Warring Moon. So yeah, regular Weezing, I will put it in C, just because I think shutting down abilities in this format is even better, because you can shut down Photosynthesis as well as Quark Drive, Intimidate, Grassy Surge, Unseen Fist, Good as Gold, Sheer Force from Legendaries, all the Ogerpon abilities, Prankster. I think Weezing has a good niche. Next up, we've got Magma, and I will put Magma behind Clefairy. I think Magma is just the worst Ogerpon, honestly. The niche that Magma has that Ogerpon does not have, like Ogerpon Halflane mainly, is that it has a spread move, like a spread fire move in like Heat Wave. Also, Fire Spin is somewhat cool, but it also has slightly better bulk, but I would always prefer Ogerpon over Magma, honestly. Next up, we've got Gyarados, and Gyarados can be a decent support, but I feel like in every format where Incineroar is legal, Gyarados is just straight up worse. It does do entirely different things. It can have T-Wave. It's also a water type with Intimidate, which we don't have a lot of. So yeah, I think Gyarados is also alright, but not great. You can just run a support set with T-Wave Taunt, but in a meta full of Raging Bolt, not the greatest pick. Next up, we've got Snorlax. Snorlax had a day 2 by playing a Belly Drum Custard Berry set. Pretty much the only set we have seen on Snorlax. And I think Snorlax, it's not really good. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to tell me about Snorlax. Like, you can click Belly Drum, get a move off. In Trick Room, maybe you can get multiple moves off, but honestly, I think it's just not that good. Next up, we've got Dragonite. And Dragonite, however, is pretty strong. Because there are different variants of Dragonite actually you can play. Obviously, if Champo is legal, Choice, Band, Terra Normal, Inner Focus Dragonite is always a possibility. But we've also seen Scale Shot Dragonite in Regulation F. You might have thought that Regulation H first introduced Scale Shot Loaded Dice Dragonite, but no. Regulation F already had Scale Shot Dragonite in a lot of teams, especially if paired with Gouging Fire, with Howl. And Howl plus Scale Shot is super strong. People still decided to run Inner Focus instead of Multiscale just because of Incineroar and Rillaboom being everywhere. And like the most common set was Terra Steel, Scale Shot, Iron Head, Extreme Speed, Protect with Inner Focus, as I just said. So that's another option. Some people also played AV occasionally, the Assault Vest. So I think Dragonite is really good. I would consider Dragonite in the top 20 for sure. We will see if it will hold up being in the top 10. Next up, we've got Articuno. And honestly, if I look sometimes to my second screen here, it is by way to just check, maybe to see like what the results have been in the past, if I might have missed something, stuff like that. Articuno, unfortunately, Articuno won a regional, which means we have to deal with Articuno. And what makes Articuno so good is just the sheer bulk it has, especially if you pair it with Snow, Aurora Veil, Intimidate. It has a very good special defense already, and it can just spam Blizzard in the Snow as well. You will get freezes over time, and it also has the Snow Cloak ability, which means that in the snow you will also dodge moves more often, which is just insane overall. Nonetheless, I think Articuno still will be holding back by its stats. Yes, as I said, it has decent bulk. The speed with 90 is not terrible. Also the special, or no, it's 85 speed, isn't it? It's 85 speed now that I think about it. It's not 90, it's 85 speed on Articuno. I think it's 90 special attack, which isn't that high, but it's okay. I think I will put it in B, because it is strong itself, but I don't think it will win a regional again, and I doubt that it will top cut either. So yeah, I will put it in B. Next up, we've got Smeargle, and Smeargle, I hate Smeargle, honestly. To be fair, Smeargle isn't that good in Regulation F, just because Safety Goggles and Incineroar and Rillaboom are everywhere. Then we've got Urshifu, which just KOs you with Surging Strikes. We've got Iron Crown, which KOs you with Tachyon Kata. Goldango is quite popular as well. And which these are the reasons which I think, or why I think Smeargle is just okay. I will put it behind Weezing. Next up, we've got Porygon 2, and Porygon 2, however, is phenomenal. Porygon 2 is, I would say, better than Dragonite, just because Porygon 2 offers you a really good Trick Room setup. Porygon 2 won the European International Championships as well, used by Nils Dunlop. People underestimate how good Porygon 2 is. It can just sit there forever, and I mean, I just top cut a regional with Porygon 2, so its bulk is just really, really good. Most of the top tier Pokemon cannot 2-hit KO it, like Legendaries, Fluttermane, Chiempao, and with a good Terra type, you can match up well into Urshifu as well. Like Terra Flying is being used most of the time, but we've also seen Terra Poison and Terra Fairy as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Porygon 2. This is also a meta, by the way, where people run quiet Porygon 2 instead of modest, because the attack boost is actually something you can use, like in Regulation H, for example. You rather wanted to have a special attack boost every time, even if you get an attack boost, or not a special attack boost, but like a special Terra Blast. Like if you get a physical attack boost by downloads, you still want to have a special Terra Fighting Terra Blast against Pokemon like King Gambit, Archaludon, Terrasty Goldengo, Ursaluna Blood Moon. All these Pokemon you wanted to have a special attack, but in this format, having a physical Terra Blast is not bad against like Ogapon Wellspring. Having a physical Terra Flying Terra Blast is not bad. It's also stronger against Fluttermane. And yeah, those are the main reasons why people run a quiet nature with some attack investment as well instead of modest. And then we've got Tyranitar. Tyranitar, unfortunately, if I think about it, yeah, like the problem is Instant Urshifu. As I said, it's everywhere. Also, Fluttermane, Landorus, Chiempao. Like Tyranitar dies to everything pretty much, which is why I think it's not great. Also, Sun is not very common, and if Sun is being used, it's on Sunny Day Tornadoes, which is a manual Sun setter. Against rain, you're not good anyways. Against snow, I guess, but the snow teams have, as I said, a lot of partner Pokemon that just remove Tyranitar, which is why I think that Tyranitar is pretty bad. Still better than most of the other D-tier Pokemon, but it's not better than that. Then Raikou. What's Raikou doing? Inner Focus, Snarl, Raging Bolt. Guys, why would you run Raikou if you have Raging Bolt? Like, let's be real. I think Raikou is just bad. Inner Focus is cool, and like Snarl, and I don't know. Does it even get Electroweb? I don't know. It gets Taunt. Inner Focus Taunt. Yippee. Nah, it's not good. Suicune, similar story. Similar in a way that it has Inner Focus and Snarl, but it at least has Icy Wind support as well as Tailwind support. Scald is threatening, so I would consider it being a better support than Gyarados even, but it's not really good. Entei, yeah, let's talk about Entei. Hell yeah. Entei, I think, is worse than P2 and Dragonite, but I love Entei. I played Choice Band Entei for almost all of Regulation F, and Assault Vest Entei is also pretty strong. Citrus Berry Entei also had a good finish in the Dortmund regionals. I think it finished top 4. So I think we also saw Safety Goals Entei for a short period of time. So yeah, Entei, Inner Focus. It's good into Incineroar, Rillaboom, and it's also like Sacred Fire is a really strong move. Having priority on Extreme Speed is great, so I think Entei is decent. Next up, we've got Pelipper, and honestly, Rain is not that good in Regulation F. Why is that? The problem is that I know I will repeat myself a lot of times, but Raging Bolt is a problem, and you don't really want to boost the opposing Urshifu either. And the Rain partners, Archaludon is not good in a meta full of Fluttermane and Landorus Eye, and other Rain abusers like Basculegion. Basculegion just gets Grassy Glide, Sucker Punch, and Thunderclap. And yeah, I think Pelipper, I would still consider it nichely viable, similar to like Weezing, but yeah, it's not better than that, honestly. Torkoal. Torkoal, I would say, is not bad, honestly, because Torkoal, in my opinion, features a lot of nice traits. Obviously, it's a good Pokemon in hard Trick Room, but you can also use it with a Sun mode. Because you don't have Groudon or Quaidon anymore, so Torkoal and Ninetales are your only Drought setters, and there are a lot of Pokemon that benefit from the sun. Raging Bolt, Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, Ogerpon Halflame. You could also consider like Screamtail. Let's take a look. What are the other? We've got Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, Roaring Moon. Great Tusk also had a day 2, even though Great Tusk isn't that good. But yeah, Torkoal I would consider good, but not great, because it's boring. Like it's not very versatile, I would say. So that's why I would put it in B minus. Next up, we've got Sableye, and I've never been a fan of Sableye. In this meta, it also doesn't do that much. So, yeah, I think I would put it here. Milotic. I don't know, Milotic. Does Milotic have a niche? I would say no, honestly. Like, yes, punishing Intimidate is a niche, but dying to everything and not dealing a lot of damage back is just bad. Yeah, I will put it over here. Dusclops. I would say Dusclops is not terrible, because Dusclops can set up a Trick Room quite easily. I think it's a good Trick Room setter. I know some German players used it in EUIC, and a lot of them had a win-it-in for day 2 on Ursaluna Hisui team. Not Ursaluna Blood Moon, but Ursaluna Hisui instead. And I think Dusclops is a little slept on. People just do not try it. They think, oh, Farigiraf is just a better Trick Room setter. But Dusclops' bulk is incredible. It also offers different spotting moves like Haze, as well as Will-O-Wisp. Also just decent damage over time with Nightshade and Pain Split. So I would say Dusclops is at least in the C tier. Do I put it over Venusaur? Probably not. And I think Smear is probably better than both. Yeah, I think this looks alright. Next up, we've got Metagross. And Metagross, I played with Metagross in like the first 2 or 3 weeks in Regulation F. I had a really cool Metagross team there. And it was not bad. But that was also the time before people realized how good Landorus, Eye, and Raging Bolt and Incineroar are. People played a lot of very weird stuff back then. So yeah, Metagross. Problem is it matches up pretty badly into all Ogerpon. Actually, it doesn't match up bad into Ogerpon Cornerstone, I guess, but into the 2 most common Ogerpon, Metagross doesn't have a good matchup into them. So at least it's a Steel type, and having a Steel type is not bad because of Terra Fairy Raging Bolt, but your Steel Step being Heavy Slam, which doesn't do a lot of damage against Raging Bolt, isn't great. I guess you can run Meteor Mash or Iron Head, but those moves are also not that strong, so I would put Metagross over there. Registeel. Registeel is an interesting Pokemon, honestly, because I think Registeel has had 2 or 3 top cuts by just playing an Iron Defense Body Press set. Pairs pretty nicely with Cresselia as a partner, because Cresselia can remove like the status conditions that would otherwise be inflicted on Registeel, like Spore or Will-O-Wisp from Incineroar. The problem is, once again, Landorus. Landorus I is a big problem, and Registeel is just super passive otherwise. I would still put it in C probably, just because it had results. Like the Pokemon in D tier, I think none of them really had any results. So yeah, I think Registeel is not that good anymore. But against teams that are very focused on like physical offense, I think Registeel can do great into those. Next up, we've got Latias. And Latias, I think, top cut the first regional in Regulation F. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, Latias, I would say it has like the niche of, if you play Terra Steel, you hardwall Landorus Incarnate. Without Terra, you have a good typing into Urshifu Rapid Strike, as well as Ogerpon Half Flame, and your offensive coverage of Psychic and Dragon hits pretty much everything in the meta but Gholdengo and Kingambit. But yeah, I would say that Latias is a little outdated just because the offensive pressure from most, like Searching Strikes, yes, you resist it, but it still does too much damage. So yeah, I will put Latias in D as well, but it's not super terrible. I will put it behind Clef. Latios, however, offensive pressure is a little better because there are not a lot of Draco Meteor immunities. There are some resists, I already mentioned the steel types, but like immunities, I think we only really have Fluttermane, right? As you can see, the list also has like Sylveon, Primarina, Animaus T, Tinkaton, but those seem fake. So yeah, Latios, I would just say it's a slightly better Latias, but they are pretty much the same. Next up, we've got Gastrodon. And Gastrodon, in a meta full of Urshifu, it's not bad. Also, Yawn support is not bad. Ground typing is cool into stuff like Raging Bolt. So, yeah, I would say Gastrodon has a niche. It's not great, but Sand Tomb or Whirlpool can be used to trap opponents as well. Clear Smog against Dondozo or just setup in general. Yawn is just a really good move that just a few Pokemon get, or also a few Pokemon can use efficiently. So Gastrodon is one of these, and this is the reason why I put Gastrodon in C. Bronzong, let me think what Bronzong does. Similar to Registeel, it's an Iron Defense Body Press Pokemon, which hardwards Landorus. Having Levitate is pretty cool against Landorus and also Ursaluna, right? But you have less bulk than Registeel, and also the Psychic typing is actually worse. Or like having the Psychic typing is worse. Because, yes, now you don't get hit super effectively by fighting type moves, but having a weakness against Dark and Ghost, when a lot of Pokemon have this type like Fluttermane, Urshifu Single Strike, Incineroar, Chiempo, not really good. I will put it in D, but like maybe a little above. Yeah, I think this is a good spot. Garchomp. I know that Lenduel always played Garchomp in Regulation F. But I think Garchomp just gets outclassed by Ursaluna. Also, Landorus I is just better. I would not consider, like, I would not say that Garchomp is terrible by any means. Because Earthquake, sometimes just spamming Earthquake is nice, but this meta also features a ton of Rillaboom. So, yeah, that's not particularly good. So yeah, I will put it in C. right behind Smeargle. Mamoswine. Okay, now we're going crazy. Mamoswine is... it has Oblivious, so it is immune to Intimidate. Ground Ice is really good offensive coverage. You hit a lot of Pokemon super well, but you die to pretty much everything. And getting it positioned is pretty hard. So it also never had any results, so I would put it in D, right behind Veladis. Gallade is a good hard Trick Room Pokemon. It has a White Guard. Sacred Sword is a really good move. Psycho Cut is decent as well. But other than that, it is good into balanced teams. Like Incineroar, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt teams really struggle against Gallade. So it's another Pokemon I think I would put in this tier. But it only really fits on one team. Unfortunately, I mean that you can say the same with Articuno, but it's not really splashable. It only fits on Hard Trick Room, I would say, because otherwise, positioning Gallade on like some other team, maybe someone can do it. We haven't seen it yet, and I don't think it's possible, but we gotta wait and see. Next up, we've got Heatran, and Heatran obviously matches up nicely into Half Flame if it terras. If it doesn't terra, it at least doesn't do that much damage, but keep in mind that Flash Fire gets ignored by Mold Breaker from base Ogerpon Half Flame. It also is good to have a Fairy Resist. It's also a very good Fairy Resist, but yeah, Heatran, I think I would put it in C tier as well, like top of C. I'm not the biggest Heatran fan, honestly. I played Heatran in my first Worlds, but after that, the power creep just was a little too high, and I remember that not a lot of people played Landorus I back then, which is crazy, because Landorus T was more popular in Regulation D, and then Landorus T just vanished. But yeah, next up we've got Cresselia, and Cresselia is so passive. It is not very good, just because it doesn't provide a lot. Like Lunar Blessing support is nice, and if you position the Trick Room for Torkoal or Saluna, it can do something. I also know that Cresselia had like some results on teams with like Amoonguss, Incineroar, or Saluna, and then like Urshifu Fluttermane. So basically the Nils Dunlop team, but with Cresselia over Porygon 2. Cresselia gives you a nice matchup into Amoonguss. Like Safety Goggles Lunar Blessing is truly a blessing. So yeah, I think Cresselia is alright, but not great. I will put it here. Whimsicott is next, and in a meta where Tornadus is legal, Whimsicott has rougher competition. Whimsicott at least has Fake Tears and Anchor, and a Fairy type, but that's pretty much it. I would not consider Whimsicott very good. But if somebody can do it, then it's a Luca Cherry Belly. But yeah, I would put Whimsicott in the C tier, right behind Pelipper. Excadrill, yeah, I think Excadrill is just a worse Garchomp. I think Excadrill is not good. Don't get me wrong. Amoonguss. You might be surprised, but I will put Amoonguss in the A tier, not in the S tier. Is it better than Porygon 2? I would say it's better than Dragonite for sure. Is it better than Porygon 2? It's rough. They do completely different things. I would put it behind Porygon 2 for now. Amoonguss is not that good in Regulation F, just because Goldango is popular. Substitute Landorus is a problem. And Ogerpon just being everywhere. Yes, Sludge Bomb is nice against Ogerpon, but Ogerpon Half-Flame also just friends and okay with Terra Ivy Cudgel. And also Flame Orb or Saluna is very popular, and you don't want to face that unless you have Grass Knot. Psy Spam like Iron Crown or Hatterene in Psychic Terrain are another problem. So yeah, these are all too many things, which is why Among Us isn't super good. You should not ignore it in team building, though. You should definitely not ignore it, because ignoring Among Us can be one of the biggest mistakes. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. We still have a lot of Pokemon to talk about, but I want to finish this today. Next up, we've got Volcarona, and Volcarona is interesting, because Volcarona, maybe with Grassy Seed and Instant Rillaboom, it will see some play. Raging Bolt obviously is annoying. Urshifu Rapid Strike is a little annoying. But against most of the top meta Pokemon, I would say it matches up decently. Like Chiampao, Rillaboom, Fluttermane. So I think Volcarona is not terrible. I would consider it... Do I consider it A-? I think people were not really using Volcarona very well. I think Taming Volcarona can also work in this format. So I think I will put it slightly behind Entei. Fire types overall are just really good, just because there are not a lot of fire resists. Like, if I have to think about fire resists, there's like Raging Bolt and Incineroar, which are great fire resists, don't get me wrong. But other than that, like Dragonite, I guess. And then for like Urshifu Rapid Strike, there are more than I initially thought, but all of them are also not super tanky. Okay, nah. I don't know what I'm yapping about. I thought fire types are actually decently strong. I guess some teams just only have 1 or 2 fire resists, and you can just deal so much damage, but they cannot take that many moves. Next up, we've got Thunderous Eye. And Thunderous Eye, T-Wave support is nice. Offensive Thunderous Eye is not that good. Eerie Impulse is good against like Pokemon that are immune to T-Wave, like Raging Bolt. So Taunt is not bad, but it's probably also nothing more than niche. So I would put it in. I think Registeel, since Registeel had a top cut, all these other Pokemon did not have a top cut. I will move Registeel a little higher up the list. So yeah, I think this seems alright. Next up, we've got Tornadus. And Tornadus, however, is probably the best Pokemon we've had so far. Maybe it's even S tier. Just because Bleak Storm is a phenomenal move in this meta. Because flying resists are very rare. As I said, Kingambit, Goldengo, Raging Bolt, and maybe Iron Crown. Like, these are the top 4. And like Rain Dance support, Sunny Day support, Tailwind support, it's really, really good. And I think I will put it in the S tier for now. Landorus Eye, however, is even stronger, or even better, because Substitute Landorus Eye is such a pain to deal with, trust me. Also, you can run Sensi Storm over Substitute if you... Substitute is broken, let's be honest. If you have Substitute and Protect on one Pokemon, it creates so many guessing games, and Landorus is a Pokemon that can afford to run Substitute because it only needs Earth Power and Sludge Bomb as attacking moves, and Landorus, its power is super strong, and the only Pokemon that switches into Landorus is Landorus itself. So yeah, really, really, really good Pokemon. Landorus T. Landorus T was the GOAT in earlier generations, but now Landorus I is just better, just because Earthquake isn't that good anymore with Grassy Terrain being there. Also, you don't have a lot of partners. There's a team with like Tornadus and Landorus T with Choice Band Landorus T, which isn't that bad, but yeah, I think Landorus T, is it better than Garchomp? Perhaps. I think Landorus T is somewhere around these lines. Chestnut. I think Chestnut, they toot EUAC with a Belly Drum Grassy Glide set. Bulletproof is actually pretty cool if you resist Fairy type moves as well, because then you have a good typing into Flutter Mane. Also, Bulletproof is or allows Chestnut to be immune against Sludge Bomb, so you can also get a Belly Drum off in front of Landorus. And it is funny. I think it's also not terrible, honestly. I think Chestnut has a niche, which is why I will put it in C tier. I think Venusaur is slightly better though, but I think Chestnut, you should not underestimate Chestnut. Next up we've got Sylveon, and I played Sylveon for a couple of weeks, because I played like the Wolf team with Call My Fluttermane, but instead of Call My Fluttermane, I Call My Sylveon, and it was a lot of fun. Hyper Voice, Terra Blast, Sylveon with Call My Protect, Leftovers. I think it's strong. People might ask, wait, we have Fluttermane. Why would you use Sylveon? Sylveon just has way better bulk, and it hits quite hard as well. I think Sylveon has 130 special attack. Fluttermane has 135, but Sylveon also gets the boost from Pixelate, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think Sylveon, does it? I will put it in C tier. Yeah, I will put it right behind Chestnut. Okay, Incineroar. I will make this quick. Incineroar with Intimidate is just too good. It's Intimidate, Fake Out, Parting Shot, Helping Hand, Taunt, everything, Knockoff. This cat is haunting me in my nightmares. So yeah, I think, I will already think about, is Incineroar the best? And obviously also, everybody has their own opinion. You can feel free to share your opinion on what you think is right or wrong. Like, there is no right or wrong. Opinions cannot be right or wrong, but I wonder what you think is like the best Pokemon, or if I placed some Pokemon way too high or way too low. I'm really curious to read all your comments. Next up we've got Primarina, and I would say Primarina is alright. Once again, a worse Fairy type than Fluttermane, but I would say it's a better Fairy type than Sylveon, just because the water typing allows it to OKO Landorus and Incineroar, and I would put Primarina not that much higher though. I think C tier is good. Lycanroc Day is is cheese. Lycanroc Day, it is. I only Len uses it, and you can lead like Lycanroc Day and Tyranitar and just click Rock Slide, and pray. Lycanroc Day also gets Endeavor, so with Focus Sash it can be quite funny, but yeah, I would not consider it very good, just because there's just too much counterplay with Intimidate, Fake Out. Also, Urshifu just OKOing through the Sash. A lot of priorities in the meta as well, with Sucker Punch, Grass Glide, and Thunderclap. So yeah, not a big fan. Next up, we've got Araquanid. I think Araquanid has a cool ability, but that's it. Araquanid, unfortunately, is not very good. It has Liquidation. White Guard is also not bad, but I would consider it worse than Milotic, worse than Exca. Yeah, I think it's over here. Comfey is also not really good, just because there's too much damage in the meta, like too much immediate damage, like Terrestrialized Ogerpon, Life Orb Landorus, Ursaluna Hisui, Ursaluna Blood Moon, Too much damage. Comfy likes lower power level formats way more, and is it better than Clefairy? Not really. So I will put it over here. Comma-O, it won a regional regulation E, but I don't think it won a regional regulation F. But Comma-O is a little slept on, just because the only fairy type, as I said before, is Fluttermane, right? So why would you not run a Clanging Scales Flash Cannon, Clang with Soul Protect set? Well, after Clanging Scales, if Fluttermane is not Speed Booster, you outspeed it, you OKO it. And I think in a format where Incineroar Rillaboom is legal, Iron Defense Body Press is also an option. You can also run Iron Defense Body Press Iron Head to play such a set. Overcoat is nice against Amoonguss. You can run Bulletproof with a Fairy Resistant Terra once again, or maybe a Ground Resistant Terra to wall Landorus. Like Terra Flying Bulletproof would hard wall Landorus. Terra Flying is not very good though, because then you would keep the ice weakness against Pokemon like Chiampao. But the option is there. So I think Comma-O is not bad, honestly. I will put Comma-O, but it had no results. But Volcarona also had no results. I will put it here for now. And I will rank Ninetales, and then I will take a quick break because I have to do something really quick. But Ninetales, I think, because it's the last Generation 7 Pokemon, then we have like only Generation 8 and Generation 9 Pokemon left. So Ninetales is probably slightly better than Articuno, just because Ninetales also works without the snow. Like Articuno only works if it's paired with Ninetales, which means they are on the same level, right? Actually, maybe not, because it is possible that. Nah, I think I would put it that way. And I think Ninetales, Aurora Veil offense could be decent. I think Ninetales is just a great support overall. Choice Specs Ninetales could be used as well, because as I said, there are not a ton of ice resists. So yeah, I will put Ninetales slightly above Torkoal. Torkoal enables a lot of, like, way more Pokemon, so I think I will just put it that way. And that being said, I will take a quick break, and then we will continue with these remaining Pokemon, the Generation 8 and Generation 9 Pokemon that have had a day 2 in a regional or UIC. I'll be right back. Just a little cut for you. Alrighty, I'm back. Nothing happened for you. I ate something. I recorded something else. But yeah, we are back now. And I wanted to talk about Rillaboom. And Rillaboom is actually a Pokemon where I think it's really good, potentially. Like, people show why it's so good. It sponges special moves really nicely, especially against like Landorus and Fluttermane if you run an Assault Vest. But it can also deal a lot of damage, and with Fake Out and U-Turn you can just keep the cycle going. U-Turn actually more popular than High Horsepower, just because there are not that many Fire, Poison and Steel types you have to hit. Like in Regulation H, for example, where were Archaludon, Kingambit, Goldengo everywhere. But in this regulation, U-Turn was actually the preferred choice. And Rillaboom overall, not only, as I said, as a special sponge, but also Miracle Seed items were popular. People played Clear Amulet on Rillaboom as well to not get attack drops. And I think Rillaboom deserves to be an S. I don't know if it's better than Lando. Lando, sometimes it's hard to position, so I think Rilla is just super splashable, and it gives you just a really good Pokemon into Size Spam. And Size Spam is very popular because you not only have to deal with Hard Trick Room, you also have to deal with Iron Crown Size Spam, so Rillaboom can soften that matchup a little bit. Next up we've got Corviknight, and Corviknight I think is not terrible, honestly, just because it hard walls Legendaries, and that itself is already good, and it's really good into Rillaboom and Incineroar. Mirror Armor is a phenomenal ability. I think Corviknight is super good, honestly. I think I would put it in this tier just because people were not using it, and I have no idea why. Because as I said, it has really good matchups into Instant Amoonguss as well. Like Instant Amoonguss, they want to switch into Instant, they intimidate themselves, and they, like, Flablets doesn't do that much damage anymore. The problem with Corviknight is a little bit that its stats are not that great. People sometimes overestimate its bulk, but nonetheless, I think Corviknight deserves its spot up there. Next up, we've got Indeedee Female, and Indeedee Female probably is like, since it offers two unique archetypes in Iron Crown Size Spam as well as Hard Trick Room, I think Indeedee is a really good Pokemon. I remember I bought Indeedee also just on Hyper Offense. Like if you have Tailwind Hyper Offense, you could also use Indeedee. Most people use Farigiraf. Farigiraf was correct. But Indeedee has valuable tools in Follow Me, for example, as well. So I think Indeedee is really good. I would put it in Bevo just because this level is still slightly better. Maybe I would put it behind Entei. Nah, I will put it here. Then we've got Hatterene, and I think Hatterene, I would put it right next to Indeedee. Does that seem right? Not really, because Hatterene is not, like, Indeedee offers way more than Hatterene does. Hatterene is strong though. I think Hatterene is better than Articuno when it comes to like spread damage attacker, so I would put Hatterene over here. Next up, we've got Grimmsnarl, and I hate Grimmsnarl. I honestly hate Grimmsnarl. I don't even think that screens are that good, just because Urshifu is legal. Has never stopped Grimmsnarl before, but on top of that, there are just a lot of Pokemon that you can also not T-Wave, like Incineroar, Raging Bull, Landorus, and I feel like Grimmsnarl is more of a liability than a good Pokemon. So I will put it in. It's better than Galatro, let's be honest. I will put it here. Dragapult. There was, I think, only one day 2 with Dragapult, and it was Francesco Yosia and EUAC. And I played against Francesco, and I was like, oh yeah, Dragapult is actually really cool. I kind of forgot about it, but it also gets outclassed by other dragon types like Gouging Fire. Obviously, Gouging Fire does, again, different stuff than Dragapult, but Dragapult has its problems. Usually against Instant Urshifu teams, Dragapult is really nice with just Dragon Darts, but you gotta keep in mind that in a meta full of Sucker Punch and Flutter Mane, Dragapult has its problems. However, I still think that it deserves a spot in the B tier. I would say it's better than Grimmsnarl, honestly. Then we've got Weezing Galar, and it's similar to Weezing. As I said, it depends on which Pokemon are legal. The Fairy type is alright, but I think regular Weezing might actually be better than Weezing Galar, right? Like, as far as I know, regular Weezing should be better than Weezing Galar, but I will just put them next to each other because why not? Articuno Galar. Articuno Galar, another Pokemon that punishes Intimidate, but loses to all the threats in the top tier. Like, Hurricane still does not do enough damage, even after a competitive boost. I think it does an OKO Incineroar, and also relying on Hurricane is always a double-edged sword, so I will put Articuno Galar in C behind Registeer. I will put Dusclops a little higher, and Vino is better than Weezing. Yeah. Then we've got Moltres Galar, and Moltres Galar, I think it has a top 16 finish in EUIC, and I don't know how, I don't know why, because there's no Calyrex Shadow. Like, what is Moltres Galar doing? Like, its only result has been when Calyrex Shadow was around in Regulation G, but in Regulation F it also had a result with no Calyrex Shadow, and I don't know what it's doing. I guess it just clicked Fiery Wrath, and that's it. I don't believe in it. I think Weezing is better. I think Gastrodon is better. I think Prim is better. Chestnut as well. Yeah, you know, it's really bad. Zapdos Galar. Zapdos Galar is an interesting Pokemon just because it has Defiant. And Fighting Flying is super strong offensively. Problem once again is that obviously the moves do it as well, that the bulk is kind of fake, like with Close Combat and Brave Bird. Your bulk doesn't really matter. Yeah, Thunderclap is obviously another key problem. And also, you need to run a Choice Scarf, or you need to run like a Tailwind setter, but if you run a Tailwind setter, you play like Zapdos plus Tornadus, I guess. And then, yeah, Raging Bolt really eats you up, but I would say that Zapdos Galar isn't terrible, but it's also not great either. Okay, Urshifu, guys. Urshifu. Okay, let me move both of them up. In the beginning of Regulation F, it was actually... Urshifu Single Strike actually had way more usage than Urshifu Rapid Strike. It took like 1 or 2 months until people realized, yeah, why actually? I think Rapid Strike is really strong. I played with it recently a lot, and I think Rapid Strike is phenomenal, and Single Strike is also really good. Single Strike gives you a really good matchup into Dondozo, because you don't have Haste anymore, like Haste Dragonite. Yay, Dozo is free, but Single Strike is a good counter against that. I think Single Strike, I would put it in front of Amoonguss as well, but behind P2. Why is Rapid Strike better than Single Strike? The Water type is so great. Also, bypassing Focus Sash is insane, because Focus Sash Fluttermane, Focus Sash Chien-Pao, Focus Sash Tornadus, you just KO all of them with Terra Water Surging Strikes. And that's low-key insane. And also, you just match up better into Incineroar, into Landorus, and overall Rapid Strike can also benefit from like Rain Dance from Tornadus, while Urshifu Single Strike cannot get such a boost on its Wicked Blow. But yeah, those are like the main reasons. Regieleki, I think Regieleki is fine. I would not consider it terrible. But the problem really is that we have a better electric type, right? We have really good ground types, so I will put Regieleki there. I think Smeargle is still better, and maybe Pelipper there. Regidrago. So some people might argue, oh, Regidrago is so good, but I think it is not. Yes, it had some results, but every time I play it, I'm like, okay, I have to position Regidrago in Tailwind next to Iron Crown to actually do something with it. And yes, if you get it positioned, nice, good job. But getting this position is easier said than done. So yeah, I honestly dislike Regidrago a lot. But I think it would also not be fair to put Regidrago behind all of these. I think it's worse than Entei-Wo, that's for sure. Yeah, I think this is alright. Basculegion is terrible. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I think Basculegion is awful in this matter. But yeah. Anamoris, Overcoat, Trick Room Sweeper, I don't think it's good. I honestly don't think that Anamoris should see a lot of play, but I think it's not better than Prim. It's better than Sylveon. Not really. I will put it here. Ursaluna. Ursaluna Hisui. I'm not the biggest Ursaluna Hisui fan, but it won the European International Championship. And like this tier is perfect, but I don't think it's better than Dragonite, just because I like the versatility of Dragonite a little more. But yeah, Ursaluna, not a bad one, don't get me wrong. Arcanine Hisui had some usage in the Snow team, but other than that, I know Regulation D and E Arcanine Hisui was really good. Regulation F, unfortunately, Incineroar appeared, and Incineroar also appeared in Regulation E, I think, but Arcanine was just a really good offensive one. Now Arcanine is just alright. I put it here. It's a regional winner. All of these Pokemon, I will put it here, right next to Articuno, because it's funny. Lilligant, not Lilligant, no. Cringe. Honestly, cringe. Not bad though, but I hate it. It's only used on hard Trick Room as well. I think it could be better than Gallade, but yeah. Zoroark, another Cringemon. Bro, Cringemon after Cringemon. Zoroark. I don't really see the use. I mean, Zoroark overall is cool in the meta with a lot of fake out, right? Because when your opponent has to think twice if they want to click it, but yeah, I think it's just a D tier. Like it's similar niche to Lycanroc Day. Then we've got Gudra, and Gudra is interesting because it's similar to Registeel, an Iron Defense Body Press, or you can also play Shelter Body Press, or rather Acid Armor Body Press, whatever, on it. And it is not terrible, because the Dragon type helps actually against... like if you want to be more offensive, because most of the fighting resists take a lot of damage from dragon moves. Like you could run something like Draco Meteor, Iron Defense Body Press, Live Dew, or Protect if you want with leftovers. But I think Registeel, just because Registeel still has better bulk and it works better with Cresselia because it's slower, so it works better in Trick Room. I will put Gudra. Where do I put Gudra? I think it's better than Anamorus, but yeah. I talked so well about Gudra just to put it there. Great. Skeledirge, bro. Skeledirge. Terra Fairy Skeledirge with Unaware, I guess. I guess it is not super bad, honestly. It is not super bad. So I will put it... Is it better than Heatran? If I compare Heatran and Dirge, probably not. No. I think I will do it that way. Maushold. Maushold is interesting. Because Super Fang and Follow Me is definitely not bad. Taunt as well. So I think Maushold always has a niche. And it's always the question, Maushold or Smeargle. I think Smeargle is slightly better, which is why we put Maushold behind Eliki. Tinkaton has the fastest fake out, I guess, and it also has Anqua. It's a fairy type. It has Gigaton Hammer against Fluttermane. It has a good typing into Chiempao. Nah, not better than Prim, but better than Sylveon, I guess. Better than Chestnut. Also, Prim should be a little higher on the list. yeah. Garganical, Garganachi, boah. Nah, it's not good, because they will just timer stall you. It's too passive. Wildguard is also not as good in this format, because I guess there are some spread moves. There's like Dragon Energy, Expanding Force, Eruption, Earthquake, Dazzling Gleam, Bleak Windstorm. So there are some, but I would still not use Garganical if you ask me. But yeah. Dondozo and Tatsugiri. Dondozo will be the symbol of like Solo Dozo, and Tatsugiri will be the symbol of like Tatsu Dozo together. So Solo Dozo is actually decent. I think Solo Dozo, like the Tinglu Dozo team, is quite strong. I will feature it this weekend on my YouTube channel. So I'm a big fan of Solo Dozo. It's not. I think I will put it here. And Tatsu Dozo, even though you don't have to worry about haste anymore, there are still a lot of problems with Tatsu Dozo. So I think you should respect it, but I will not put it higher than B. Yeah. Next time we've got Glamora, and Glamora is actually really cool. Offensive Meteor Beam sets were quite popular, and Toxic Spikes look amazing, because every team that does not have Amoonguss, like the other poison types that are being used, are Wheezing, not very common, and opposing Glamora. And I guess on this list we've also got Venusaur, but yeah, Toxic Spikes are amazing. So I think Glamora is also a little underutilized, and I will put it right behind Dondozo. Yeah. And then we've got Armorwoosh. Armorwoosh is a good Trick Room Pokemon, but other than that, Flash Fire is a pretty cool ability. You can do funny stuff with like Weakness Armor, Weakness Policy, but yeah, I think it's not very good. Annihilate, Bulk Up, Annihilate, like Defiant Monaghan, Fake Out Immunity. Bulk Up matters too offensive for Bulk Up, but Final Gambit and Coaching are not terrible. So I will put Annihilate in B-. Nah, I think it's not better than Smeargle. Then we've got King Gambit. And King Gambit, Defiant Pokemon, hello there. King Gambit is okay. Let me check. Yeah, King Gambit is... Wait. Yeah, King Gambit is okay. Sucker Punch is really strong into some teams, but Urshifu just... We haven't seen a lot of King Gambit lately, just because, or like in Regulation H and not Regulation H, but like Regulation I and Regulation G, just because of the Legendaries, like the like Koraidon, Zamazenta and Co. But yeah, Urshifu and Terraferry on a lot of Pokemon doesn't help it either. However, I still think it should be in the B tier, and it's better than most of these. Farigiraf, I love Farigiraf, honestly, and Priority Block is great. I think it should be in the same tier as Indeedee, but not as high. I will put it here. Then we've got Bags, and Bags, we've seen Glaive Rush, Ice Shard, Sword Sets Protect Bags, even without Ice Buddy and Ninetales. I think Bags is okay. I always wanted to make Bags work, but it's so hard. I know that it has a finals appearance in a regional, but other than that, Baxcalibur is still not the biggest threat. I will put it towards the ice type, so that would be funny. We've got Goldango next, and Goldango is not an S tier Pokemon. The problem for Goldengo is just that all the other top tier Pokemon just obliterated, like Incineroar, Fluttermane, Urshifu, Legendaries. You get the gist, right? So, but Goldengo is still an A tier Pokemon. Probably here. Maybe in front of Amoonguss, actually. But Sludge Bomb Amoonguss is just too good. I think I will do it that way. Yeah. Next up, we've got Screamtail. And Screamtail is a Pokemon that's super hard to play, but if used correctly, it can be quite strong. Especially with Anchor Disable in the Raging Bolt meta, and Substitute Landorus meta, and Double Fake Out and everything. I think Screamtail is in the A-B+ tier. Yeah, I think Screamtail is pretty good. Yeah, I will put it that way. I will speed through some of the stuff because I'm already recording for over an hour. Great Tusk. Hell nah. Why would you run Great Tusk? Great Tusk is so outdated. It doesn't get the KOs. It is quite frail on the special side. So, yeah, no. Not a big fan of the Tusk. Fluttermane, however, S tier, obviously. In front of Urshifu or behind? Probably behind. Yeah, I will put it behind because the Jungle Bros, they have to stick together. Next up, we've got Warring Moon. Warring Moon has 2 phenomenal sets. Actually, 3. In the Global Challenge, I played a Terrafire Terra Blast set with Torkoal and Clear Amulet Warring Moon. That was fun, like with a sun and everything. But it also obviously has Dragon Dance Attack Booster or Tailwind Speed Booster. I think Warring Moon is phenomenal. I think Warring Moon is super good, and I will put it in A, of course. Maybe in front of Ursa. Yeah, Warring Moon is difficult to play with, so I will put it here for now. Walking Wake next, and Walking Wake is unfortunately not really good because Sun is not that common. Like if you want to play Sun, you have to play manual Sun on Tornadus. And why run Torn Wake if you can run Torn Shifu and then Rain Dance Tornadus instead? So yeah, Walking Wake, nothing more than niche. Yeah, but it's not terrible. Yeah, I think it's okay. Raging Bolt. You know what's fun about Raging Bolt? Raging Bolt mirrors. So I will put Raging Bolt on number 1. The reason for it is that Raging Bolt has, like, it's impossible to beat a Raging Bolt that still has terrestrialization available. It is such a Swiss knife, if you know what I mean. It can do everything you want. You can play a booster energy set, you can play Life Orb, maybe with Beads of Ruin, Sun, and I don't know, all the modifiers. You can run just Calm Mind, you can run Safety Goggles, you can run Assault Vest. I think Raging Bolt is really, really strong. Then we've got Gouging. I like Gouging Fire a lot. I think Gouging Fire, it just enables an entire team mode once again. So Gouging Fire should be behind Urshifu and in front of Amoonguss. Yeah, I think this maybe behind Amoonguss, but this seems like a good spot. Then next up we've got Iron Bundle. I think Iron Bundle is not really good. I don't know what Iron Bundle matches up. I guess Ice types are just pretty cool, but yeah, Iron Bundle, yeah, no. Iron Morph, yeah, no, Iron Morph. I think Iron Morph is honestly terrible. I have no idea what Iron Morph is supposed to do. Now that I think about it, let me think. Yeah, get into the bin. Get into the bin. Iron Hands. It's interesting because this is not an Iron Hands format, which seems weird because you can low kick, Raging Bolt. Fighting moves are pretty strong in general, but Amoonguss, Legendaries, Golding, there are a lot of Pokemon that just threaten Iron Hands too much. I still think that it should be in this tier, so I will put it right behind Hatterini. Jugglis, Iron Jugglis. I don't see the upside to use Iron Jugglis. But yeah, Iron Boulder. Iron Boulder is the Oliver Gaustenmon. I don't know, man. I like, it's cool that you can hit full protect with your signature move, but the speed stat is also pretty good with 124 speed base, I think it has. So it's faster than like Modest Fluttermane, Adamant Pow, Warring Moon. All these Pokemon will not outspeed Iron Boulder. But yeah, I think it's one of the better ones of this tier. Then we've got Iron Crown. And Iron Crown, I'm a big fan of Iron Crown. I think I will put Iron Crown in front of Indeedee, just because Iron Crown just carries a lot. But Indeedee enables more. So maybe Indeedee in front of Iron Crown, but I'm a huge Iron Crown fan. Then we've got Chi-Yu. I haven't seen a lot of Chi-Yu lately, honestly. But it's an A-mon for sure. It's not an S-tier mon, I would say. I think it's... Porygon 2 maybe is a little too high. Maybe I should move Porygon 2 a little lower. Yeah, I think this seems alright. Yeah, Chi-Yu, obviously you have to hit your moves. Heat Wave, Overheat, Snarl. It can be a liability, but overall pretty strong. Chien-Pao, I think, is an S tier. I like it more than Tornadus. Also, it's probably slightly better than Landorus. Chien-Pao just hits so much in this meta, and sort of when it's also so good with Urshifu. I love it. Next up, we've got Tinglu. Tinglu Dozo. This is probably the only... I think I have to put Tinglu next to Dozo, right? Because I think Solo Dozo only exists with Tinglu, and Tinglu only exists with Solo Dozo. So they have to be put next to each other. And the better one of these two is probably Tinglu, just because Sandtomb and Ruination is just slightly better. So yeah, Tinglu Dozo, just a really strong team combination. Ursaluna Blood Moon is it A or is it B? It's probably B. No, it's not better than Iron Crown. It's not better than these. I will put it here. Yeah, I think this seems right. Next up, Archaludon. As I said, Archaludon. This is not an Archaludon meta. As you can see in the S tier, this does not scream, oh, Archaludon. So yeah, Archaludon. I'll put you behind King Gambit. Here. Sinistra. I think Sinistra, almost nobody used it, but I would not consider it terrible. But it isn't great either, so it's worse than Rain. I think this is a good spot for Sinistra. Then we've got Okidogi. Okidogi is actually really good, just because fighting poison coverage and also type is phenomenal against Incineroar. It's also with Guard Dog even better into that. So Okidogi, it also won a regional. It also top cut UIC. So I think Okidogi definitely deserves a spot over there. Fezantipiti and Monkey Dory has a day 2, guys. Monkey Dory is trash. Monkey Dory is the worst of the worst. Why would people run Monkey Dory? I'm so mad. Freaking Monkey Dory. But yeah, Fezantipiti is also not good. I know that Flavidapedia used it today to EUAC with it, but yeah, no. Fezantipiti has no stats. And if a Pokemon has no stats, it means that it's bad. Okay, just the 4 Ogapon left. Let's go. Let's start with the best Ogapon. It's gotta be Half Flame, right? It's gotta be Half Flame. I think Half Flame is just so good because it threatens a lot of offensive damage, and also you have Follow Me support. You can play with Sword Stance. I think Half Flame is amazing. I will put it in front of Flutter Mane, I think, or behind. I put it behind Flutter Mane. Because you have to give up an item, so you are always vulnerable to like Intimidate, Fake Out, and also your stats are good, but sometimes there are just Pokemon that deal too much damage onto you. So yeah, which is why I put Ogapon there. Then the next strongest is Wellspring, and I think Wellspring, is it also S tier? No, but it's A tier for sure. Top of A, I would say. Yeah, that checks out. Cornerstone and Teal Mask. I would consider Cornerstone better, but it's not better than Torkoal or Hedgerine or Hands or King Gambit, but it's better than Arcanine, so maybe I will do it that way. And then Teal Mask. I can see a niche for Teal Mask, just because it has Defiant again, and you can run an item, but your moves do less damage than on the other Ogapon. If you didn't know that, now you know. So I will put it in C. Yeah, and now I will double check if I agree with everything I see. Yeah, the S tier seems perfect. You could consider, actually, Ogapon maybe S tier over Tornadus. Ogapon Wellspring over Tornadus. Nah, I will do it that way. Then we've got the A tier. Chiyu, Amoonguss, P2, Gouging, Goldengo. Yeah, maybe, you know what? I will put these two in A as well. Then we've got A minus B plus. I think Regidrago is still too high. I think Corviknight is better than Screamtail. Blood Moon is also better. Yeah. Farigiraf should probably be higher. Yeah, this is a good spot for Farigiraf. And Volcarona maybe 1 tier lower. Well, Torkoal is better than Volcarona, Hedgerine as well. Yeah. With Snow Guys, King Gambit. Maybe King Gambit over with Snow Guys. Nah, I think I feel fine with that. Yeah, Arcanine, Grimmsnarl. Crest over Grimmsnarl. And Archaludon is way too high. Hold on a minute. Hold your horses. Archaludon is way too high. Bundle is also way too high. Nah, I think... maybe I can put Smeargle in this tier. Yeah, this seems alright. And then the best is Annihilate, then Heatran, then Eliki. This is not Eliki. Boulder, Pelly, Chomp. And then you can argue for Archaludon. Nah, Archaludon is here. Okay. Yeah, this seems good. Okay, so this is my final tier list of Regulation F going into Regulation F 2.0. Let me know what you think. My top 5 are Raging Bolt, Incineroar, Shifu, Fluttermane, and Halflame. It's funny that you can technically build a team with the first 6. Wait, isn't the first 6 the team that Tim Edwards used to get to second place with in UIC? I think it is. It was like Sash, Shifu, Boost Energy, Flutter, 3 attacks, Halflame, and then like Incineroar, Bolt. Yeah. I have 10 Pokemon in S tier. I think that's a good number, good amount. But yeah, I'm really happy how this turned out. Obviously, I rushed a little because the recording is already long enough. If you have any questions, or as I said, if you want to argue over something, feel free to do that. I am really curious to hear your opinion. I hope you enjoyed it. It was just a one-taker, or I guess a two-taker, where I was talking a little bit about the regulation and what I think or what I consider to be the best Pokemon in the meta. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Next week I will feature the remaining winning teams. I hope you're looking forward to that. And also check out this weekend's I played against video. I haven't played it yet, but I am really excited because I play against, I think they are currently top 5 in the world regarding championship points wise. You can also take a guess who it's going to be. And also first time playing Regulation F on this channel, I think ever, because I haven't started with I played against. I think I have started with it in Regulation G. So yeah, I hope you're excited for that, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.